All right, Smash Ballers, welcome to another edition of the Smash Ball Fantasy Football Show. Here we are live. We've got the Aurealis Borealis behind us, and we're going to get right into it here, folks. All right, on a Wednesday night edition here, we're going to get into a little bit of recap action and some forecasting action. Excuse me. Now we've got here T.Y. Hilton was a full go. He's got a groin going, but the deal on T.Y. Is that he's kind of been slipping from grace there. So we'll have yet to be seen what will happen with Phillip Rivers there. Big Ben is on the COVID reserve list. So Big Ben owners are going to have to be a little wary, a little cautious about whether they're going to be able to use him or not, because he's got a couple of balky knees too from that tackle. When he wasn't concussed, but indeed his knees got scissored. I think he could still play. It still is up in the air, but if nothing else, next man up. Mason Rudolph will be the man of the hour. Moving on, we have Golden Tate. Now, Golden Tate in New York there, he's a little bit upset because he hasn't been involved in the game plan so much. But, what's going to hurt his stock even more is that undrafted free agent Austin Mack is pulling into his shares, as well as they picked up Dante Pettis. So Golden Tate, as the veteran, is going to be absolutely livid and probably request a trade, but good thing that you folks aren't starting him. Joshua Kelly, the news on him is he has a diminished role there in Shantytown there at Chargers because of the fact that he's got Justin Kelly, and Justin Kelly got injured, but even so, they brought in Kellen Ballage off the practice squad. Now, Kellen Ballage is back on the practice squad today, but they brought Kellen Ballage out, and he indeed took away from Joshua Kelly's role, which is really surprising. They also brought a guy up, Troy Maine Pope. So, not a clear path. That is an absolute mess in Charger Town for those Joshua Kelly owners. Austin Hooper is playing. You can stick him into your roster this weekend. Those who've been playing rookie Harrison Bryant, who's had some pretty good games. Obviously, going back to the secondary role with Austin Hooper playing. Also got a half Chubb update. Nick Chubb activated off the IR today, and so likely will play Sunday. Kareem Hunt owners, you can have a more of a half Chubb because of the fact that the value is going to go down a little bit there. He's going to have to do a timeshare with the Chubb man himself. So we're going to go ahead and get into a little bit of the matchups that we had here on this past weekend for fantasy purposes. So I'm going to go in here. If you'll give me a little bit of time here, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Okay, we're going to take a look at this. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at the standings right here. Okay, in the Dynasty League. Norseman, Valhalla, we got Smashmouth at 6-3. Purple People at 5-4. One of the lower scorers. Crazy Horse at 4-5. And here we have Meat Curtains easily at 7-2 here. Highest power ranking, highest score, higher everything. Bridesmaids is down there at 5-4. Lucky to be there. Skoll is at 3-6, and he is also grappling. I think he has something to say here. He's been putting up a few points. Moving on to the next division, we have Laces Out at 6-3. 2-0 in the division. Fall Guy is at 5-4, one game back. Boomer Nation is at 3-6. Now moving into the Norris division here, we should call it, because you have Half Chubb at 4-5. Ragnar at 4 and 5, and Just Win Baby at 2 and 7. So that is the way the lineups go here. Let's go ahead and preview the games to come here. We've got Smash Mouth coming in here against Boomer Nation. Now, Boomer Nation's been having some problems. He's only got 7 to play here, but yet he's got a couple buys players he needs to put in there. But it looks like Smash with Delvin Cook running up the league, and Chris Godwin, Deontay Johnson, Kirk Robinson looks like he's got that one. Fall Guy and Purple People. Now this is going to be a very interesting one. I'm going to call it for Fall Guy because Fall Guy has been putting up more of the 25, mid-teens to 25 to 35. And Purple's been having trouble getting out of the teens. So it's really going to be telling here this week. Fall Guy's got Jerick McKinnon and J.D. McKissick in there. Not sure that we're totally in love with that backfield combination. He's got Philip Lindsay there, who I would play. And he's benching Jonathan Taylor, too. So, And he's benching Gordon. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be slight favorite. I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to say Fall Guy. We got Half Chub now against Crazy Horse, which should be a heck of a game. Both 4 and 5, both needing a win pretty badly. Why does it show he's only got 8 left to play here? Did he have somebody play already? No, he couldn't have. Why does he have 8 left to play? He's got a quarterback, 4 running backs, a receiver, a tight end, a kicker, and a defense. It's kind of screwed up. Anyway, Crazy Horse has got, he's going to Tom Brady against Carolina. Otherwise, he's got Joe Burrow against Pittsburgh, which might be a little ugly. You got Derrick Henry, David Montgomery. You got Mike Evans, T. Higgins, and Deebo Samuel. So decent squad there. I think that's definitely going to be a push game here. That one could go either way. Ragnar's Revenge at 4 and 5, taking on Skol, who is 3 and 6. Looks like Cam Newton, which Cam will show up. He's playing Baltimore, so Ragnar's going to take a hit there. Skol's got Josh Allen going against Arizona, so going to be a big game there. Ragnar coming in with Damian Harris, Kareem Hunt, and Ronald Jones. Not a bad deal there, but Damian Harris got hurt, so have to see if he's even going to play. And then Skol's got Fournette and JaMycal Hasty, which is 2 pretty weak plays there. But he goes in with Will Fuller and Devontae Adams. So between those 3, he doesn't need a lot of anybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Skol on that. Laces Out taking on the Bridesmaid Squad. I'm going to go ahead and call this right now for Laces Out. He's actually playing Tuga Valua. He has to. Unless he goes with Foles against Minnesota. So he's actually playing the rookie. How wacky these fantasy seasons turn out. Then he's got Mixon back, okay, in the backfield as lone back. A.J. Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Metcalf, and more with Gronk. So he's got a fighting chance there. And I think Bridesmaids got Teddy against Tampa, which is tough. Darrell Henderson, DeAndre Swift. Who knows what you got there? He's got Hopkins, Parker, and Michael Thomas against San Fran. So we'll kind of see how that's going to go. I'm going to give the slight edge to the Laces there. Last but not least, Meat Curtain 7 and 2 over Just Win Baby 2 and 7. All I can say is Just Win. I wish you the best. Stay safe. Try not to get hurt too badly, but it's going to be a bloodbath because it always is. So that's kind of the standings, and that's kind of the matchups here. We're going to go ahead now and get to the news nobody cares about. News nobody cares about. Tennessee wide receiver Adam Humphries remains in concussion protocol. Again, nobody cares. So that's kind of what you have it on the quick and dirty on this edition of the Smash Dell Fantasy Show. Nothing too long. I'd like to get some other owners on here. If we could effort some, that would be a bonus. You can just contact me and say, hey, what's up? Smash Dell, want to be on the show? Let's just go ahead and schedule it in. So here's what we're going to do. Right now, right here, week 10, start them and sit them wide receivers. We're going to do it right here. We're going to do it right here, right now. Right here and right now, we're going to go Cooper Kupp as a start. Brandon Cooks is a start. Christian Kirk is a start, who I should have started him last week. DJ Chark is a start. Travis Fulgham, start. Sleepers here this week are Tim Patrick. I think Jerry Jeudy is should be considered a quality number 2, but Patrick isn't really too far behind. He's got a touchdown or at least 100 yards in the past 4 games that he's been able to finish. So I think he is definitely a sleeper. Here we have Danny Amendola and Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk hopefully picks up where he left off prior to being held out in week 9 because he was on the COVID list. Previous 2 games, though, he had 14 catches for over 100 yards and a touchdown. So he'll be the number 1 target for Nick Mullins, even though it's against the Saints. But I would start him if I had him. He's too electric. Rashard Higgins, okay. He's a play as well, been playing very well. He's a good streamer. Curtis Samuel, matchup for the Panthers is bad, but Samuel could be looking at additional work. Why? Because McCaffrey is out. He's going to get carries. He has 2 rushing touchdowns over his past 7 games. 9 targets, 9 catches, 100 yards, touchdown. Now, he's definitely a candidate for regression on targets and touchdowns and yards, but I would flex him if I had him. Now, this week, we're going to go ahead and sit Justin Jefferson. We're going to sit A.J. Green against Pittsburgh. We're going to sit Jacoby Myers against Baltimore. Yes, he's their number 1 receiver, but you have to sit him. Sit Mike Williams. That matchup against Miami is no good. Maybe a number 3 receiver at best in most leagues. Marvin Jones, going to sit him again, but they're actually going against Washington, and they are not that bad. They're first, in fact, so he's a sit. Bust alert is going to be DJ Moore. Sorry to those DJ Moore owners, but here's hoping that Moore here will have a reverse jinx and he starts to play well. But it's tough to consider him a must-start fantasy receiver, given his production in the last 2 weeks. 4 catches and 73 yards on 9 targets against Atlanta and Kansas City. He's getting outplayed by Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel. And he's had 6 or less targets in 6 of the past 7 games. Okay. Now, let's hope he can get onto that week 2 Tampa Bay production for 8 catches, but it's hard to trust him against the Bucks. Hard to trust him. What do you do? What do you do? Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go in for the running backs this week, and we're going to go and breeze through this fairly quickly, actually. Stardom, Kareem Hunt. Yes, Nick Chubb is supposed to return, but they've allowed running backs in their past 3 games to really go bananas. Antonio Gibson is also a start. Antonio Gibson. He's playing the Lions, and he is going to run through them. Mike Davis, because why? Christian McCaffrey's out. Now Chase Edmonds. Now he benefited from a big workload in Work 9. He had almost 29 touches. Overall disappointment though with Drake out, and as the start of the week, he had 25 carries for 70 yards and 3 catches for 18 yards. Hopefully the Cardinals stick with him for that many touches in week 10 against Buffalo if Drake is out. Now, if Drake returns and he practices Wednesday, which I didn't hear, then I would still start Edmonds as the flex option. The Bills have had a lot of running backs scoring 5 games in a row, and Edmonds scored at least 14 PPR points, 3 of his last scored when he was on the field. So it doesn't matter. You can play him. J.K. Dobbins is a start. I'm going to go back to Dobbins as the number 2 running back this week. Sleepers, we got Duke Johnson. If David Johnson is out, he's a must start. But we'll put him here in case David is able to play, because he was great in relief, man. So he's going to get the PPR touches. Jerick McKinnon, same thing, sleeper. It's like the whack-a-mole I told you about earlier. Can be started this week in PPR leagues. Salvon Ahmed. Okay. Running back for the Miami Dolphins. Matt Breida hamstring could play. DeAndre Washington is eligible to make his debut. Let's see, week 9 at Arizona. Ahmed, who played the most for the Dolphins in the first game without Myles Gaskin. Okay, so gamble on Salvon Ahmed if Breida remains out there. Another sleeper is going to be David or Leonard Fournette right now. Borderline starter in PPR this week going against Carolina. So Philip Lindsay also, neither running back played well in Denver, but Lindsay has more carries and more targets than Gordon. So he's been the better running back on a per touch basis. So for this week, consider Lindsay a flex option against the Raiders right now. Sit him, Devin Singletary. Sit him, Melvin Gordon. Sit him, DJ Dallas. The problem here is there's a chance Carson could return week 10, which will bump him off the board. Sit Ronald Jones. If Fournette plays, Jones goes down in the ladder. Sit Burkhead. Bust alert, Darrell Henderson. Low-end starter, but I don't know. No running back has rushed more than 58 yards against the Seahawks, except for Delvin Cook and Alexander Madison. So I think he could struggle if he doesn't score. So that's the bust matchup. So that's kind of the starts and sits, guys, that we have for that. Really on my list of things that I really wanted to narrow down. And we could go ahead and do a section, and look at starts and sleepers and risks. So start them, Jonathan Taylor. Sneaky sleeper, Mo Alie-Cox. Sit him, Ryan Tannehill against Indy. Sit Gianno Smith. Start Dallas Goedert. Sorry about that. Start Dallas Goedert. Start Wayne Gallman. Start Chark, we said already. Sit Tanyan. J.D. McKissick, a flex in PPR, so that was a good start earlier there we went over. Sneaky sleepers, Logan Thomas. Risky starters, Kareem Hunt because of that Chubb deal. Stardom, Austin Hooper is back. Sneaky sleeper, Antonio Brown coming in against Carolina. What can he do? But they have bitten the Panthers with speed receivers like that. Flex starter, we already mentioned this. Intriguing player if he gets 10 touches this week. So flex starter, Deontay Parker. It looks like he's going to have a good a good rapport, although Preston Williams got a lot of touches too before he got hurt. So it might be that if Preston remains out, that Tvarker's going to have a better game. But risky starters, Mike Gesicki, might look for him, probably won't. Sit him, Derek Carr. Start him, John Brown. Start McKinnon in PPR. Start Jared Goff. Start Deontay Johnson in PPR. Definitely a starter with RW1 upside in PPR. Risky starter, Mark Andrews. He's going up against New England, and the problem is he hasn't done much lately, but you have to start him because he's your number one tight end. Sit him, Alan Thielen, against the Bears. It's tough to say, but I guess that's the way it rolls out, kids. So anyway, that's the fantasy show for today. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And for another adventure down the highway, down the fantasy football skidway, it's Smash Ball signing out for the Smash Ball Fantasy Football Show. We'll talk to you soon. And here's to no injuries, legs up, heads up, arms up, wins up. Let's get her done.